Namaskaram. In Mahabharata, we have almost finished Dahanam, and in that, little bit what is left is about the children of Pandavas. It is said that Draupadi gave birth to 5 sons, one from each of the Pandavas. They were named Prativindhya, son of Yudhishthira, Sutasoma from Bhima, Shrutakarma from Arjuna, Shatanika from Nakula, and Shrutasena from Sahadeva. These names are not important because they hardly ever appear except at the very last of Mahabharata. Subhadra gave birth to Abhimanyu, who plays a very prominent part in the Mahabharata war. He became one of the leading fighters on the Pandava side. And with that, Subhadraharanam ends. And there is only one more sub-parva in the first parva in which we are. The first parva is called Adi Parva, and in that what remains is the Khandava Daha Parvam, the burning down of the Khandava forest. We are getting into that now. For Subhadraharanam, Sri Krishna had come to Indraprastha with valuable gifts and with other Yadava leaders. After the marriage, they all went back, except Krishna, who stayed behind with Arjuna. And when the summer set in, Krishna and Arjuna decided that the heat is very strong and they could go to Yamuna and swim and cool themselves down. And it appealed to other Kaurava leaders, not the Pandava leaders or the Duryodhanas, etc., but the next level. And also Draupadi, Subhadra, Satyabhama, the like. And they went to Yamuna and spent hours in the water, and Krishna and Arjuna got up and they went into the Khandava forest because it was a very thickly grown forest with lots of trees in full bloom. And then they came across a Brahmin who came to them and begged for help. He said that I am starving, please help me. So naturally Arjuna and Krishna probably felt that it is their duty to help him. So they promised, whatever you want. And then he said, I am not a Brahmin in that sense, but I am Lord Agni. And I have come for help for me to burn down the whole of Khandava forest. There is a reason for me to say that, because I am suffering after partaking of the offerings of long years of yajna performed by a king by name Shvetaki. And now I am suffering from stomach ailment, and I am told that I should burn the forest down and consume the medicinal plants and the vapa, that is the bone marrow of a variety of animals there. That is the cure prescribed to me. I tried on my own, but Devendra comes with heavy rain and quenches the forest, and the forest fire is put out. So I need help. And Arjuna and Krishna promised to help him. At that time, the story was being told by Vaishampayana, the disciple of Vedavyasa. And then Janamejaya asked, what's called Maharshi, sage, please tell me in detail about the background, why Agni got ill. And then Vaishampayana went into the story in detail. He said, there was a king by name Shvetaki who conducted a series of yajnas. As soon as one would finish, he would give dakshina, gifts, to all the partaking sages and Brahmins. And then immediately he would ask them to start the next. He was something like an addicted to these yajnas. Yajnas cost a lot of money and a lot of effort. The yajamana, that the king himself has to take vow. So it is a physical discipline for him, but still he wanted to do it. And after a while, the sages and Brahmins started excusing themselves, saying, no, I have spent too many days, now I have other things to turn to. And they started excusing themselves. Finally, none of the sages or Brahmins he could approach accepted the invitation. And Shvetaki was sorry that he couldn't continue, but still he wanted to continue. So he went to the Kailasa mountain and started deep meditation on Lord Shiva. He spent years of severe penance, eating food once a day, then once in a week, once a fortnight, like that. He reduced eating. That there are various steps for the tapasya, for the meditation, to be made more and more severe, and he went into that. And finally Lord Shiva was pleased. He appeared before Shvetaki and asked what boon he wanted. And Shvetaki made the strange request, look, I have requested all the Brahmins and sages for my yajnas, and they have all started backing out. Now there is none except you yourself. So Lord, please accept my invitation and come and perform these yajnas on my behalf. And Lord Shiva smiled, said, look, unfortunately I am not qualified. Only Brahmins can perform these yajnas. So you have to approach one of the Brahmins. If none of them are ready, then I shall ask sage Durvasa, who is my disciple, to do for you. And accordingly, Lord asked Durvasa to help King, what is his name? Shvetaki. Shvetaki also went to Durvasa with valuable gifts, prostrated before him, and pleased him and requested him to accept the position. And Durvasa agreed because Shiva had asked him, and he started doing the yajna on Shvetaki's behalf. And this also took several days, probably months and years. And finally, the yajna came to an end. But unfortunately, Lord Agni, who had taken the offerings, the havis, it is called, the ghee and food that is offered, he had eaten it for so many years and years without a break that he became ill in the stomach. And he didn't know what to do, so he approached Lord Brahma, explaining his condition. Brahma said, look, I understand what has gone wrong and I know the remedy. The only remedy is that you should go and swallow the entire Khandava forest. That means you should burn it down and consume the plants and animals there, especially the vapa, the bone marrow of all the animals there. And Agni came down and started burning the forest, but Takshaka, the serpent, was living there, and he was a good friend of Indra. And Takshaka immediately cried for help, and Indra came down with heavy downpour, and that would quell the fire. Agni tried several times, none worked. And now he is frustrated. He has not found a relief and he wants to burn down the forest. But he couldn't do it without help. That is why he approached Arjuna and Krishna. And the two, Krishna and Arjuna, accepted the request, and they went into that. We'll continue with the Khandava Daha next day and hopefully finish it. Namaskaram.